the event center, and then I'm hoping next week, should have started this week, but next week they will start with the framing for the first retirement building, which will have 7 apartments. And then soon the short-term apartments framing will start. So it's moving along, and we're excited about that. And then also just wanted to share with you that we don't have any missionaries being approved this September. We had several lined up, but they've decided to wait until May next year. And then we have some for September next year already. In October, we're going to participate or lead in the World Mission Forum with Baptist Bible College. And thanks, Mark, for letting us be a part of that and do that. And we got some really good missionaries coming in. I think everyone will be enjoying that. And then also in the end of September, we will be out at Liberty University.
Is John the only one froze?
I think so.
It was
This week, we're third docu-series. You can go to Project World and you'll be able to see the latest one. We're going to show it at the September meeting. And it happens to be on my parents, Richard and Janine Conrup. And it's turned out pretty good. And I think you'll be interested to see it. So that's my report real quick. And do you have any questions?
did you say that series we were going to watch that in September at the meeting, or is that just when it's going to be available?
It is available now, but we will show it on the Wednesday morning at the September meeting.
Very cool. Awesome. Any other questions?
I was out to the site on Tuesday. Man, that is impressive. Good job, John.
Well, thank you. Yeah, it is. It's a big project, bigger than a lot of people understand. And that's because we got big God, and he's doing some great things.
Amen.
Amen. Very cool. Well, thank you, John. Appreciate all you and the missions office do. Next I see on the YouTube is Apex. So Terry, you want to give us a real quick update?
Sir, so we just had our most recent assessment in Springfield, hosted by both John and Mark. So thank you guys for doing that. It really was, it was like a good environment for our church planners and their wives. And so a lot of our guys came that normally help with the assessment, but we added some new guys from the Springfield area to help us with some of the different pieces of the assessment. And so that went well. We didn't know how it was going to work, but we did it here later. So that was okay. I'm pleased with how that worked. And then 2 weeks ago, there was a group of us that went to Indiana for the Small Church USA training. And it's something that Jason Peterman and I were talking about, and just the revitalization portion of our fellowship. And so we thought we'd have enough guys for one training cohort. And we actually had enough guys from our fellowship that we have 2. And so I'm pretty pleased with that. We had 9 of our guys show up. We already have more scheduled for the January training that he'll do in Indiana. So Terry Thompson is the man who leads that, and he hosted at the church that he pastored for many years. And he's turned that church over to a younger man, and he's still there, but he's leading Small Church USA, which is just a training cohort for guys who are revitalizing their churches. It's really cool. Mark is the one that kind of brought it, as far as I know, and he and I talked, and it's just a really good ministry that he's doing. He will give a scholarship to a seminary student. So we actually have 2 of our grad student guys that are in the cohort, which is great. And it's good for them and needed. And so all that went very well. We have our next assessment in October. We have 3 candidates for that assessment. The new thing that I didn't put in the video is one of our guys is Devins Jackson, and he came to an assessment, and really he's connected to Daniel Woodcock in Alabama. Great couple, just working hard. He's a golf pro. That's how he makes a living. And so the training that he needed was not what we do for church planning. And so he was able to go to that small church training, and he's in the cohort now. So our next step in that is to try to raise him some funds so he can at least be part-time in his day job and focus more on his church. He really is in a low income area, but he has he's a great guy. He'll be in California, so y'all will get to meet him. Daniel's bringing him. So all that is a win for us. Just a good guy. And so I'm excited for the future of him and how we can help that ministry and others like it down the road. And so I'm hopeful. We'll just have to see how we do on our fundraising for him. But that's our goal. Between Alabama and what we do through Apex, hopefully we can raise him the funds that he needs to be at least part-time. And that would be good. I think that's all for now, John. Thank you.
Very cool. Any questions for Terry regarding Apex? All right, you did a great job then, Terry.
Thank
Got
you,
the
buddy.
video and the highlight. All right, Dave Melton with Boston. You want to give us a quick update and opportunity for some questions?
Sure. Thanks, John. It's good to see everybody. Hi from Massachusetts. I've already taken and learned a lot in this meeting. I really appreciate you mentioning that COVID is over. They haven't told us that yet here. So
We're trying to start it again, I think.
Yeah, it's good to know. Also, I need to find out who that East Coast guy is with the $5,000 check. So if you want to put that in the chat or whatever. We've had a hard but very good summer in Boston. I don't know that I've ever been able to say that. We needed and set a very ambitious church giving goal for a special offering and exceeded that. And I don't mean just in commitments, but in receipts. And I know this is us that we're talking to, but these are the kind of things we can't do separately. We can only do it together. And we keep taking these steps. And I just hope we'll all be encouraged, because I know we go back to our places of responsibility and all of us have big hills in front of us. But I'll tell you, when I saw all of you in May, I really wasn't feeling so good. They were very tough times. And I'm smiling a lot these days. I actually sat in on a missions committee meeting today. I don't always do that, of course, but admitted 3 more new full-time students just today. One of the things that we did here as part of our way to figure out how to be better stewards of everything is we condensed our semester lengths for both semesters this year. What that means is a kid goes to a class for 4 hours a week instead of 3, but we start late and still end early. And if everybody's coaching is correct, we'll save about 3 weeks of winter utilities just by that one change, which where we are in our buildings, that's not small money. So just to let you know, we are always working, trying to look at things in a way and see if we can do things better and be better stewards. Just a couple quick follow-ups listening to Terry. By the way, good to see you, buddy. One of the things I have a heart for, I have a couple things that are kind of specific to whatever years God gives me left doing this. I'm really hoping that we will continue to get more minorities in our ministry training program here. We're in one of the country's great metropolitan areas, and I've said this before, but I mean it. We are entirely too white, and we have our highest enrollment of non-white students that we've ever had. And then I didn't pray for this. Well, let me tell you the other thing, not what I didn't pray for. I'm also really concerned about the small churches. that have been planted all over the Northeast, many of them in small towns, that I get a call, and Randy Harp and I were talking about this. I get a call at least once a month from some church, and they have 50 people, and they have a building. They usually have a parsonage, and they need a pastor. And we talk about that a lot with our students, about our family of churches. And we have one guy who graduated, and he was a non-traditional student. He had a career, then he came to college, and before his graduation day, he's already pastoring a small church in Connecticut, a little Baptist church in Union, Connecticut. And I get really excited about that because I want us to plant churches, but we can't lose the ones we've already planted, and to help cast a vision to get them back in. Then the other thing, I'm sorry I'm going along. We also have a couple people with disabilities this year, which is pretty exciting to me. One is the first quadriplegic that we've ever had. But one is a young man who is blind from birth, and he wants to pastor a blind church. And he told me in no uncertain terms, he said, blind people are one of the greatest unreached people in this country, and nobody talks about us. So I thought that was pretty cool.
Wow, that's awesome. Very cool. Any questions for Dr. Melton from the gallery?
I'd like to
That's a
just
great-
add to his last story there. They've done a lot of research, and the largest unreached people group in the world are the blind and the deaf.
Wow. All right. Someone else was speaking up. I didn't see who it was. Anybody have a question? Maybe it was my computer giving me feedback. Awesome. Very cool. Great to hear, David, that you guys reached and exceeded your funding goal. Praise the Lord for that. That's awesome. All right. We have Dr. Lyons and give us a report. If you're on here, I see your name, and you're muted. There you go.
Yeah, good to be here. Thank you for the invitation. And I shared the video about Global Life University. Global Life University is really experiencing a growth season. We had the largest graduating class this past June the 3rd, over 1,000 graduates. It was an incredible time. We had representation from several countries: South Korea, Botswana, Africa, Thailand, Cambodia, China was there, and it was just a wonderful time there. I do want to just highlight next year, the 25th anniversary of Global Life University on June the 1st will be our graduation. I want to extend an invitation to anybody in the fellowship to join us. It's significant. Without strong training institutions on the mission field, and who are raising up a army of leaders, then our missions ministry would never be sustained. And we have some incredible theologians resident at Global Life University, which is a testament to the generations that have gone before us and how well they have taught the Bible and discipled men throughout all these years. So we've had a good year. We've opened up campuses, as I said in the video. Our Cambodian campus is doing well. We have 27 students in Pakistan right now and are in building construction for a facility there. We will soon open in Nairobi, Kenya. And so Global Life truly is expanding. We are near 3,000 students enrolled right now. We hope to be at 4,000 by the end of the year. We've also enrolled about 30 among the immigrant population in the United States. So we are accomplishing that goal. Just a lot of good things. The initiative that I put forth in the video, the Indian Ocean Initiative, is a target point for Global Life University. So we're not just educating students, we're not just training them, but we want to launch them, take them beyond the academic world, and not only provide them with a degree, but provide them with a path. And so that's why we have launched the Indian Ocean Initiative, where we are targeting the 35 nations that are on the rim and within the Indian Ocean. And we're going to be raising up 2 missionaries per country initially, 70 missionaries. During our recent regional chapel that we just held last month in 5 locations throughout Metro Manila, because we can't accommodate all the students in one place, we had 100 people surrender to prepare to go and be part of that Indian Ocean Initiative. So, and by the way, we're opening and they can participate in this. So if you have anybody going to those or interested in those nations, please reach out to us and we would love to assist in that. And so that's kind of a brief summary and update. I do hope that some of you would choose to come over next year. You plan now, be with us on June the 1st. It's a perfect time to come. The hot season is ending. The rainy season is not starting. So hopefully you'll get the window where you don't have a typhoon or you won't be as hot as you are in Texas.
Exactly right. Very good. How about LBU? Any update on LBU as well, or?
Yeah. LBU is doing very well. Let me see here a minute. There you go.
I was waiting for the transition. I like that. You're quicker than I thought you would be.
Yeah, there you go. LBU is doing very well. LBU and GLU both have adopted, in fact, we are launching a network of universities called Great Commission Universities, linking like-minded educational institutions that are accomplishing the Great Commission with an intentional focus. So LBU is part of that and doing we're doing very well into the transition. I mentioned about our fundraising goal was $675,000 a year for 3 years. We have well over 150,000 committed. I'm in talks with a couple of key donors that may bump us well over $400,000 range. So that's not to say that you guys can't get in and give to LBU, because you don't want to miss out. Don't want to have any FOMO happening here. So we will be. We are toying with the idea. We're probably around 75% decided of doing a destination graduation this next year, which will be in Fort Worth. Shreveport is one of these places that's very hard to fly into. In fact, several people that came to our graduation this past May, when they showed up at the airport, they ran out of cars. And I thought it was all because of the LBU graduation, but then I found out that there was an Alice Cooper concert that happened the night before, and so that's probably what took all the cars. But so hopefully we're going to move it to the Metroplex in Texas and make it more accessible to people. So that graduation, LBU, will be May 16 next year, 2024. The other item I want to highlight, then I'll entertain any questions, is we are hosting a Future Truth Prophecy Conference, October 13 and 14. And I say it like this: I don't know, pastors, have you ever had like a prophecy crackpot in your church? The guy that comes to you with YouTube videos and the latest book and something, and he's figured out all the timelines of the world and biblical scholar. Right. So my suggestion to you, send him to this conference, October 13 and 14. You'll make some points with him because he'll think, wow, you want me to study more? And we will help straighten out his biblical hermeneutic. Speakers, Bill Salas, Jimmy D. Jr., is coming, several others, and then I'm not saying that you're a crackpot, but you may want to check with your wife. But it's open to pastors too. We're trying to bring some balance in the area of eschatology. LBU has been known being one of the best. In fact, Tim LaHaye, before he passed away, was quoted saying LBU is among the top 2 pre-trib prophecy universities and seminaries. So it's a great time to do that.
Awesome. Thanks, Greg. Any questions on any of those? Is the conference going to be at LBU the 13th and 14th?
Yes, it'll be in Shreveport at the Weaver Conference Center.
Okay.
And it starts, I think it starts 1 o'clock Friday, the 13th. We'll be sending out some email blasts about that. But you can also go to lbu.edu and find out information.
Okay. Very good. Any other questions? All right, then Dr. Milioni, you want to give us we've heard some great things already happening at BBC, so we want to update us. That'd be awesome.
Well, thank you. Appreciate you guys. Definitely need continued great connection with all our churches and the opportunities that we're seeing take place. Just a quick update, hearing Dave and Greg, a lot of people during the summer asked me, it must be nice, right, during the summertime? And I don't think anybody really understands. I was in my office the Monday following fellowship week, and I didn't go any place this summer. It's been incredibly busy, but it's been a good busy. I spend so many hours every week. I meet with every student that comes on campus, and so we had a lot of that. So we ended up with a really good enrollment. I'm very pleased with what's going on. Our enrollment department is in need of actually adding some people. We grew by at least 18%. Currently, we have 361 to start the year, which is 54 more than last year at this time. So I'm very, very thankful for that. I'm excited about what's happening, and I expect that to continue. Guys, as a pastor, if I was in a church, 4 or 5 years, it really saw some great success, and it got the momentum and everything going for years. And I feel like it's taken 10 years for us to get to this point where we've got everything going and got a lot of new programs, a lot of the right personnel, and academically we're in great shape. So I'm very, very thankful for that. So I feel like there's very good momentum, a lot of good interest, a lot of new opportunities, new partnerships that we can offer just about any degree that a person wants now with some of the partnerships that we have. And so students would come here, they would get, part of BBC is student life. I think you guys would all understand the importance of being here is just part of our education. So a student would come here, get that aspect, as well as 75% of their classes would be here, including all the Bible and gen eds and all that. And then they could take classes that would help them get degrees in criminal justice or media, graphic arts, computer tech. So lots of IT options, medical science things. So there's a lot of opportunities for students that may not think they're heading into full-time ministry. And of course, we have several every year that decide to transition to either missions or local church ministry degrees. So anyway, it's been a great summer since we saw everybody in May, and starting off, very thankful. Just tremendous atmosphere. Students are doing great. Very excited about that. My life was just busy this summer. We have 2 new grandsons. Both are local, so we were busy with that. I finished a long, hard journey working on my PhD. So I'm thankful that that's over, and glad to have that behind me. I thought for 20 years while I was working on it that once I got that done, then life would be easier. But it hasn't changed a thing. It just opened up doors for more busyness, but I'm thankful for that. Currently, we just in the last couple of weeks, we had a visit team come from the Higher Learning Commission, and that went great. We had a visit team from NAIA. It's the National Independent College Athletic League, and we're looking at joining them. It would allow us to compete with closer colleges. If we got to compete with just Christian colleges, we got to drive a long ways into Texas and Kansas and a lot of other places. But there's a conference based really in Missouri with colleges. They're probably a little bit bigger than us, but over 75% of NAIA colleges are faith-based colleges. So a lot of them are already colleges that are in the NCCAA. 90% of colleges in the NCCAA are part of the NAIA. So, but it would allow us to have closer competition, closer rivalries, a lot less long travel, as well as it's a huge step up in competition. So we're good, but we're about to find out how good. But I'm thankful for that. So that went really well. And currently, we have our auditors here this week. They finished today, and that's gone really well also. So there's a lot of things we can talk about. Our sand volleyball project, it's getting permitted right now in the city. I am so frustrated with how long all of the government stuff takes, but we're in good shape to get that done. Hopefully as soon as they approve it. And then just to leave you with this date, I'll talk about this probably at the meeting in California. Fellowship Week is April 30th through May 3rd, and our theme is apologetics. We're going to talk about what is apologetics, why do we need to know about it, and how do we do that in our local church. And I want to give guys real hands-on information and practical things that they can share with their church to just help people to understand their faith and be able to defend their faith. Tentatively, we've got Dr. Jeremiah Johnston lined up to be with us. Thank you, Randy. He this is kind of his expertise. He's written some books and speaks in conferences and very well recognized in the area of apologetics. So I'm excited for this. We're trying to lay everything out now. Want to have some special breakouts and opportunities and sessions. So look forward to that. I think it's an exciting thing. But given what we're going through with sexual issues and just other belief issues, even amongst believers, it's a very important topic. So look forward to that. Thanks.
Great. Thank you, Mark. Any questions for Mark? Mark, the NAI, will that open up more scholarship opportunities?
I don't think it'll open up any more scholarship opportunities, currently than what we do. But what it will do, it is a bigger, better, well-known product. Right. So it will allow us to recruit more. Okay. I think it'll be a better recruiting tool.
The volleyball, have you raised all the money for the sand volleyball? And we're right at that level. So my concern is, it never comes in at what you plan. So we're real close. Yeah. Well, we're doing this fundraiser with Otis right now. You wouldn't turn down money though, would you?
No, no. There will be more expense, I'm sure.
What is the painting, or where can we see that?
So Otis had this idea, and Otis is an artist. I don't know if you guys realize this. He's a painter, and he has this vision of Baptist Bible College. He has a picture of our administration building, and then taking the song "Fountain of Christian Knowledge" and some of the things about our founders and our founding missionaries, and just all kind of trees and water and all things all around, kind of our campus. It's just a special thing. And for a gift of $100, you can get a lithograph of that. And it really is a pretty cool thing, pretty high quality stuff. So I'm very proud of Otis and thankful for him. So we probably have around 40 or so people right now that have that will be getting one, and I got a call for 5 more today from somebody interested in it. So just kind of a cool thing. Otis is a trustee, and I'm excited to be out there with him.
Very cool. Anyone else got a question? All right. Very good. Well, great reports. And just wanted to real quickly remind you and even open up for discussion if we are planning on in the September meeting there in California to kind of come to an agreement and some kind of a approval of the job descriptions for state reps. And Randy should be able to send you here shortly the executive team job description as well. So if you haven't had time to look at that, please do. If you have any kind of input or questions even now about the state rep and those job descriptions and or expectations, any got any discussion on that? Or a lot of blank stares, so hopefully you've looked at it. If not, look at it and then come prepared in person. We want to, I don't think it's necessarily has to be an official business meeting vote, but an agreement of approval would be good. That these are going to be some working documents that help onboard new state reps, also help onboard the next executive team. It's my understanding you haven't received the executive team job descriptions that we've been working on, but you should receive them pretty soon. We were waiting on one person to finish. I don't want to call that person out, so we may send them anyways. Even so, when you see the one missing, you'll know who's not done. All right. I won't mention their name. All right. Also, I wanted to make sure that in person we'll be talking about the regional fellowship meetings. Some of you that are in smaller states or even states that are connected close together to last year we kind of did the healthy network healthy conference in February. So we want to do that again in February or March. There's kind of two avenues. Randy, maybe you can help me. We discussed on the last one on whether that be something that we target for couples, helping with, pastoring and marriage and the difficulties of that, or whether it be more towards just church health. Randy, any added value to that discussion you want to add before we open it up?
Yeah, well, the last few years since COVID, we've decided not to have a February meeting. The central office, communication office, tried to fill the gap some with a virtual conference and then just an online conference last year. Kind of changed to try to do some regional where there was both live communicators, speakers, preachers, and a couple videos that everyone showed. So we're talking about the same model, just being more organized on the front end. But we were talking in the last state rep Zoom call about theming it. Whether we wanted to keep the theme just a healthy church conference for a day or maybe a couple days, or someone mentioned to specifically talk about how to have a healthy marriage and healthy family, because that plays into healthy churches as well. So I would just ask the guys that are on here, do you have any preference or direction? Because one thing I'd like for us to do when we are together in September is to nail down a couple of dates, so that right now, when I know a lot of states are starting to plan their 2024 monthly state meetings, that this can make sure the dates are reserved and we kind of come up with a theme and start putting it all together, the next couple months before the busyness of the holidays, and you can have everything well ahead of time. So any feedback or thoughts from you guys would be great.
Crickets.
Just so you don't feel bad, Randy, I'll say something.
Thanks, Jason.
Thank you, Jason.
I say just keep a healthy church conference and just make the topic of the healthy church conference healthy relationships to help build a healthy church, and just do it that way.
Yeah.
There you go.
Good theme. We could theme it have healthy relationships, and that's a lot of different things with your spouse and family, relationships with your staff, your deacons, your church. We can cover a lot of topics.
Community.
Yeah.
Community. Yep.
So,
all right, we just come up with a theme. So the theme for the healthy church conference is healthy
Jason.
Relationships. We'll do it late February or early March is kind of the dates that we kind of look at get after Valentine's Day, but before all the spring break events is what we're looking at. So anybody already have their 24 calendar already done for your state fellowships?
Not yet.
Is there a month that you think would be better, February or March, to do this in your state, to try to do some regions? And is February or March better? Is everybody muted? I don't hear anybody.
I think February's better, Randy.
Thanks, Jason. I can always count on you.
So Randy,
late
for
February.
Texas, January is the state meeting, and then April. But we do regional, and so that's what we did last year. Was we had regional.
Yeah, I know Texas did a couple of regionals where they did it in different places, so it might still be work better that way in Texas. So, which was my next thought is I may reach out to some of you, or if some of you would reach out to me and say that you would be willing to host a region, and if you're in a spot where 2 or 3 states are pretty close to you, that you'd be willing to host. I know there's some states that naturally do it, or regions. I know Missouri and Kansas and Nebraska and Iowa, they get together every so often in Kansas City, or sometimes Missouri will host one with Oklahoma and Arkansas. So I know there's some regions that already kind of do it. So if you do something like that already, let me know, and we can kind of put some regions together. I'm thinking to do 8 or 10 of these all the same day across the country. And when we did it last year, the churches that participated, we had more pastors involved in the one we did last February than what had normally came to a February national meeting. So I think there's still some great potential with it. And we'll do something similar. We'll get a couple videos that we can distribute that everybody else can watch to hear the same speakers. And then each region will have some local speakers as well.
Hey, Randy, is the state rep meeting, I have it down as February 5th through 7th in Fort Worth in February. Is that still the case?
Yes, that's 2 spots. No, that's next on the list, Daniel. So we can go ahead and, John, I think we can go ahead and move past this, and I'll follow up through email on this, so we can talk about the state rep advance.
Okay. Yeah. So thank you, Daniel. The February on the 5th through the 7th of 2024. We have been doing that coincide with the state meeting in San Antonio, but there's always a bad overlap. So we're doing it in February 5th to 7th. It'll be here in Fort Worth, and we want to invite you guys to come. We're actually going to be going through, I don't know, my image is blurry, so you might not be able to see it, but this presence points. I'm going to encourage you, if you come to the meeting in Clovis, you should be coming, but when you're there, get by at the presence point table and meet Holly and her husband. I just went blank on his name. They're going to be leading us through 2 days of this workshop on how to be a shepherd leader. We've spent quite a few different times on Zoom calls with them. This material is amazing. It goes through all of Scripture and what it really means to be a shepherd leader. And I think it's going to be a great way for us as a fellowship to invest in you as a leader. It's also an opportunity maybe for you to take that back and invite your state to be a part of that. I know David Martin in Indiana. Have you already done your state, or are you guys soon to come up?
It is October 2nd and 3rd. So
their states ahead of everybody. They're doing it already. And David's the one that, I think it was David and Mark that introduced us to Holly. And so she's I don't remember what graduate
her
BBC.
name is Doug. Her husband's name is Doug.
Okay, thank you, Marty. David, anything you want to add to that about Presence Point?
I'm excited about it. I'm looking forward to it. I would like to have some other states from around Indiana to come join us as well. I think it's going to be very profitable. We're looking forward to it. Doug actually is in the hospital right now. He just had open heart surgery. So I'm not even sure he'll make it to the September meeting. Holly should be there and one of the staff members, but I'm not sure where Doug will be in his recovery process by that time.
Okay. So that'll be April 5th through 7th. I mean, February 5th through 7th. That'll be here at our church in Fort Worth. So you can reach out to me when you start looking at hotels, or Randy may get a list together, but it'll be here at the church. We'll spend the first Monday and Tuesday on the workshop, and then Wednesday morning will be just us, doing fellowship business, and then be done by noon so you can fly out when be kind of the schedule. So any questions about that? Or the material is cost, is it $89 I think was for the material. The missions office is helping us cover some of the travel expenses and expenses for Holly and this group to come in. So I appreciate John, and this is the third year in a row that the mission office has helped with this advance, and so thank you to the missions office. Again, I think it's a way for us to invest in you, and then for you as a leader to be able to invest in the states that you serve as well. So if you can make plans to be here, be here. I can't guarantee good weather in Fort Worth in February, so you never know. We always get one ice storm, and it's usually in February. So good luck with that. Anything else, Randy? I did mention about that, or
if you come early to that, the Cowboys will probably be in the NFC Championship game the Sunday before, right? Hosted in Dallas.
Yeah, we'll be there. I got my tickets already.
Against the Lions, probably.
Against the Lions. Yeah.
That's right. I'd pay to see that. That'd be good. Get Campbell back. And then just by way of dates, the next September meeting in 2024 will be September 16th through the 18th, and it'll be in South Dakota. And so this is an opportunity for us to go and highlight church planting. So we have 3 new church plants there in South Dakota, and they're going to kind of help us host that. The event center we're going to be at is just about 20 miles from Mount Rushmore. There's a lot of things to go see and do and hang out. I think it'll be a good destination meeting, but also we'll be highlighting church planting while we're there. So I don't really think there's anything else on the agenda, is there, Randy, or do we get through it all?
I think we got through it.
We got 5 minutes to spare. It's a miracle. All the entity leaders, you guys did great. Thank you. I do say thank you for getting all those videos. It is very helpful to be able to watch that on our time, and then be able to ask specific questions if we want. But you guys, I know it's not easy, and it's another thing on your to-do list, but I appreciate you guys doing that. It helps. And I think also in California, provide an opportunity for us to have more meaningful input and conversation as far as the state meeting coming up, or the regional meetings, and have conversations. So you guys got any questions, any comments? I want to ask real quick, John Tyson, did you have anything missions related that you wanted to speak into before I'll get each of the vice presidents, if they'd like to say something.
Thanks, John. Just Project 938. If you guys have not participated in that, and I know John had it in the video, John Connerup. I'm not sure if we mentioned it today, but whether you participate on the first Sunday in October, just the Project 938 World, if you go to the website, if you guys don't jump in and do it like we do on the first Sunday in October, that is usable. And if you're looking for something as a supplement or even a lead with promotional materials for a missions conference, it is a lot of great information. That's all I had to add to that. Won't want to shame anybody. I hope you guys are all coming next month. But I'm seeing one face that I got to ask. Gary Jane, or is it Gary Jane? Where do you pastor? And you're on mute.
I'm in Somas, California, just in Ventura County.
Okay. All right. I know we've been in the same place a couple of times, and I knew a guy that was up in Snohomish, Washington, but I didn't know if that was you at any time. Yeah, sorry, it just clicked with me because we saw Fred a few weeks ago up there at Snohomish
Oh.
Community Church. I'll let it, that's all I got, John.
Awesome. Very good. Randy was not able to be on here, and Kevin Carson either. Jason Peterman, you got anything that you would like us to, since you've named the regional meetings, any more value you want to add today?
No, actually, everything that I would share about small church so far, Terry already shared that, which I'm grateful for, and we'll share a little bit more in September at our meeting.
All right. And Gary has our treasurer. Gary, anything you want to beg for money or anything you want to say?
No, we're good.
All right.
Be glad to see everyone in a couple of weeks.
All right. Bob Stevenson, secretary, you got anything you want to, any wisdom? You're muted, so I'll give you some wisdom.
That's the best wisdom he shared.
I sound wiser when I'm muted. No, I've got nothing. I'm looking forward to seeing you guys in California.
Awesome. Thank you, Bob. I appreciate that. And Gary, Jane, if there's no other thing, would you I assume you got any words of wisdom for us as we come out and see you guys in California?
No, we're looking forward to it, and we appreciate you guys. This is going to be good for our state fellowship. So we're excited about that. I think that'll give us some more life into the California fellowship. So looking forward to seeing you guys.
Very good. Well, we're excited to be out there. Would you mind closing us in prayer, Gary?
Father God, we are grateful for what you are doing in our lives personally, in our families, in our ministries, and in our fellowship. The joy to always to hear the reports and to hear and to know that God is working in many parts of our world. We're grateful for that. Now, God, as we close out this meeting, help us to take away the things that we need to pay attention to and to be involved in, and bless our coming together in the meeting there with Otis. And we're grateful for that church. May it not only be a blessing to us, but be a blessing to that ministry and to Otis personally. Thank you for all your goodness and your work in our life. In Jesus' name, amen.
Amen.
Hey, I was just going to make sure everybody knows that they are having a Wednesday night meeting, and hopefully you'll stay for that. I know sometimes it ends Wednesday at launch, but there is a Wednesday night meeting, so make sure you make plans on staying there. Randy Harp, thank you for all your organization and helping us get this together, and again, thank you to all the entity leaders for your videos, and we're praying for you. Look forward to seeing you guys, and not long, is it? See you guys in California.
Hey, John, I have one more question. Would you
Yes.
tell me the dates on that Shepherd leadership thing again?
Yes, it is February 5th through the 7th.
All right.
So
Thank
Monday
you.
through Wednesday.
All right. And it's at your church.
Yes, sir.
Thanks.
All right. Thanks, guys. Thanks, Randy.
See you guys.